Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Alliance Forever. Today, I have another 5v5 custom match on the Necroxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our players, starting with Team 1 here on the left-hand side, and Team 2 on the eastern side. We'll start at the highest most position on the northwest corner of the map with Dreckard going first land as a Seraphim in Barbie Pink. Continuing on the counterclockwise fashion, we have Melon, Pippin, Collie going first land as a Seraphim as well in Snow White. At the 9 o'clock position, we have Budweiser Bliss going first land in Light Oak Tan as another Seraphim. Lots of Seraphims on this side of the map. And continuing on with another Seraphim in Tropical Ocean Blue, we have Pep Yao going first land. Last but not least, on Team 1, we have a different faction player. We have Obli going first land in orange, the color orange, as a UEF. So we have on Team 1 side of things 4 Seraphim and 1 UEF. So no Cyberns and no Aeon on the west side of the map. Let's go clockwise here, starting with the northeast corner for Team 2 with the Royal Blue player of Korn going first land as a UEF and going second land after that, probably going for a kind of a dual land and air play style for now. Continuing on clockwise, we have Dorset in Savvy Crimson going first land as an Aeon, first Aeon of the game. In the 3 o'clock position, we have the Imperial Grey player of Stuxnet going first land, second air as a Cybern. So the first Cybern in the game as well here on Team 2. In Forest Green, we have Raider going first land, second air as a Cybern as well. And last but not least, for Team 2, we have Luke Musk going first land, second air as a UEF in Amethyst Purple. On Team 2's side of things, we have 2 Cybern, 2 UEF, and 1 Aeon. So no Seraphim on the eastern side. So all of the Seraphim only on that western side this game, with, of course, 1 UEF on that western side. Let's go ahead and look at Reclaim here fairly quickly. We have 14,100, probably 75 at the time that I saw the number. Let's say probably about 14 and a quarter, 14.5 thousand probably. Not a whole lot of mass, but there's a lot of mechs here. A lot of them residing in the middle of the map. You know, just in this little section of the map, we have, oh shoot, what is this? 4, 8, 10, 12 mechs just in this small little box here. Kind of draw it with my little pen tool. Down here in the south, we have a group of 3 mechs on either side, and of course on the north, it's mirrored up there. Looks like the game is cut along the horizontal axle. Yeah, that's probably what it is, and then they just flipped it for the other side. So again, we're going to have a battle line down the y-axis, just straight across the middle, or straight down the middle, I should say. We're already having comms push forward, at least on this northern side. We have, of course, the comm of Korn going for these early mexes and some fabricators, some factories to get his units pumping and rolling. Some early units out here from his opponent, Dreckard, getting some Thams and, of course, the Selen. And kind of surprised not to see a Zooey in there. Usually players, you mix a Zooey in there once in a while. You guys have no air. Says, talking to everyone, is there already shade being thrown at the other side in not even 4 minutes? Whose air? Says Melon goes, wait, hold on. That might be the case. You, uh-oh. Might need to work on that. And he's going full land, so he's got to change that. See that he might change his build order and play style here. He is pushing forward, probably going for this at least section of the middle, with his teammate going for the rest of that western side. Team 2 not really making a play for the middle. We have Dorset maybe doing a distance build. Yep, you can see he has a couple of factories that is definitely going to be, he's going to just look up the side of the cliff and build some factories down. We also have this plateau down here already grabbed here by Team 2's player of Raider. He's probably going to build some artillery here later on. And we already have some raiding going on here from the Amethyst Purple player of Luke Musk. And he is pushing forward as well with his comm. Probably will go after this engineer and these mexes. I don't think that engineer will finish that auto gun in time, unfortunately. And even if he did, that comm would just tank the damage and destroy the engineer and mexes. Dorset getting that factory almost completed when a transport here from Dreckard, excuse me, is dropping some units, and he will grab these mexes, but unfortunately he doesn't have the infrastructure in place now, and that will definitely give the advantage to Dorset on this northern plateau. Going for a gun speed and range on the comm of Dreckard as well, trying to secure this northern side. We have an engineer, surprisingly, just going after some reclaim. Will be shot down for it, but did actually get a couple of rocks, but these Thams didn't finish the job, so that's free mass here for the player of Corn. Definitely a good grab here. And is there anything else going down south? Well, not really. We have some fights going on. Looks like that auto gun, I think, was eventually finished off, or it even could have been a different one. But I don't see really a whole lot of movement, at least on the north and south. But the middle of the map, we have two comms pushing the middle. Melon and Budweiser are pushing forward against Dorset. It looks like that's the target of opportunity. Yeah, I had a sneeze fest a couple hours ago, and it's still going on, so you hear some sneezes. I apologize for that. We have Dorset pushing forward, trying to delay his opponent here, going after his mexes. His radar was already taken out. He's starting to be surrounded, though. Not really a good look for Dorset here in the middle, the only Aeon player of the game. Has to do his best to represent that Aeon faction. But does look like he will pretty much claim this northern plateau. He's not being as aggressive as he could be, but he probably will build up some more forces and make the push. But the units completely ignoring the comm of Dorset, push and take out some mexes, and the units here from Corn get signals saying, hey, you got to look out for this, and they do move into respawn. Units here from Raider pushing against these incoming units from Budweiser, and there's not enough here in the middle to hold out this push. So Team 2 is going to get Team 1's going to get a nice little bulge getting more and more into Team 2's territory, denying all of these mexes, again, in their eco up higher than their opponents. Speaking of eco, let's check on eco. Well, Team 1 is winning by about 15-20 mass a second. A decent chunk of mass to be leading by. But it does look like Team 2 is leading the total mass accrued due to at least some reclaim, but mostly just they had the better ecos in the earlier stage of the game. We're only 8 minutes in, so again, it's still early. T2 isn't really a thing, but we have a bombing run here from Budweiser. What are they going after? They wouldn't be going after comms. Do they have a target? No, they just moved to that location. Pings are going down everywhere, probably for Team 2. No, I think they're for Team 2, because Team 2 wouldn't be able to see Team 1's. They're going deep after that T2 factory, it looks like. And this is going to be a huge victory if they claim it. That force out here from Budweiser does get dealt with. But the bombs are dropped. They're going after the P-gens. The reclaim order is given. The explosion will not occur. Bombs go out, take out a decent chunk of engineers. What was that? Probably like 10 or so. That's a huge grab here from Budweiser. Unfortunately, not enough to take out the second P-gen, but one P-gen plus a bunch of build power. Definitely a huge grab here for Budweiser early on, and is still sending bombers in all of the time. Interceptors have been called from multiple players to help assist in that defense, and unfortunately those bombers are not going to get anywhere. Units are pushing forward straight across the middle here for Budweiser. So while they were stopped here in the south, they do get a push here on the middle. They're going to keep pushing forward. There's nothing on the ground to defend, and this position out here from Stuxnet is going to start not really looking good. Got to pump out a gunship or two or T2 units or something just to help with this, but they are being whittled down. There was an auto gun built for the Siphon player of Stuxnet, but there are a couple of Thams still in the mix. Produce some, not engineers, just produce some Mantis or something to hold that off unfortunately, this autogun will not finish fast enough, and this is not looking good here for Stuxnet early on. Down there, we have a push here coming in from Lukmus, assisted by Raiders Comm. We also have units here from Team 1's player Pepiao trying to assist in defense. We have a Triad built as well, so it does look like Obley has at least gone T2 Tech and built that, not on his comm, but at least for some engineers. That push was dealt with, not really got a whole lot of work done, and that autogun was finished off. But still more units constantly pushing that middle side. Units coming in from the top here from Melon are pushing southward now. Dorset has held them off with his comm, but unfortunately, because of the loss of cohesion on this middle side for Team 1, Team 2 hasn't been able to push forward and do some of their damage onto their opponents, and now it's kind of a trade going back in the middle. It's very quiet on the northern front. It's just pretty much built base wars and just kind of hanging out. They're probably just, hanging out, chatting, throwing text messages at one another through the chat over here. Maybe just some paper airplanes. They're just like writing a note down, folding it into a paper airplane, and throwing it at them. That's always fun. There are a couple of pillars getting back here behind units, but the comm of Lukmus gets an overcharge in, deals with those, has a rank of veterancy, so that will start beefing up his comm quite nicely. 10% hit points per veterancy star, up to 50%. Definitely a huge chunk of hit points, especially when you get some nice upgrades that the Seraphim have. I think you can get like max 55,000 depending on the upgrades. I think it's at least 50,000 minimum. So, experimental's worth of hit points. Comms are moving in to pull back and assist the defense on this northern side of the middle of the south here. But it does look like it is going Team 1's way here for Obley. Obley is the highest rated player in the game by actually a decent margin here. But more forces coming in for Melon all the time. Going to take out this production base here for Raider, and that's gotta hurt. He is, still has a secondary one back here being his, of course, main base, but 5 T1 factories will go down trying to produce units as fast as they can. But there's just so many units here for Melon, it will not matter. And Team 2 still gaining more and more gains. Even the units here from Dorset are actually pulled to the south to help assist. Team 2 is bleeding here on this eastern side. They're holding the southern side. They're starting to lose it a little bit, but man, are they bleeding. Look at all those units coming in. We also have, of course, bombers and interceptors over the top of these comms. Gun speed and range going down here for Budweiser. Fairly forward, though. He's got to watch out for that. If he gets surrounded, not going to look good. The comm of Dorset has that advanced range and gun. So he is the Aeon Sniper comm, and don't ping me, says Obley. Don't know what that's about. But a T3 Strat Bomber here from the player of Stuxnet. And he is going after the comm of Obley. That is the target. The shields move. Critically move out of the way. One more bomb, and that will be a kill here. That Strat Bomber doesn't have enough hit points to survive. Well, it has 1,500. Those shields turn right back around. I think that will save the comm of Obley for now. But, man, that was very close. And now the comm of Budweiser was surrounded, but unfortunately the comm of Stuxnet go down to the units here from Budweiser Bliss. But unfortunately, Budweiser Bliss will probably lose to Dorset here, surrounded by his units. And this will be a large explosion. Bombs going down all the time to try to reduce those hit points on Dorset's comm. But Budweiser Bliss is falling below 500, 400, 300, 200, 100. Gets a rank and vet, but it doesn't matter. And that is a counter kill for Team 2, dropping this to a 4v4 game. Apologies for missing the first kill. But of course, there was almost a kill on the highest ranked player down here on the south. So there was a lot of action going on. But I was glad I caught at least almost a kill and the other kill here in the middle. Units here for Dorset are, slim pickings here. And he's surrounded by units here from Melon. And I think his kill, revenge kill for his teammate might not amount to a whole lot. And he will probably go down here. Sub 600 hit points. 5, 3, 2. That's another kill for Team 1, dropping this game to a 4v3. Wow. The middle just got annihilated for Team 2. Both of these players here for Team 2 got not wrecked, but they got, not evacuated. What's the term for it? They got kicked out. Forgot what the term for it is. But Raider now struggling here on this southern side. A bunch of parashields here from Obley are shielding these units here from himself and from Pepiao. Pepiao is forcing his Ilshis down the throat of Raider. Raider, of course, is a Cybran commander. He does not have a lot of hit points. He's, the weakest commander out of all of them. He does have a rank adventure that will help, but and just looking at overall, the Cybrans have the weakest commander. And now he's going to continuously try to run back, assist the units here for Lukmus, but it's not really looking good here. Raiders got to focus here on the middle and leave the north to Korn, the middle for Raider, and the south for Lukmus. That's the best way to divvy up the APM here for Team 2. There's, decidedly 3 lanes, that bot, mid, and top. So, 3 players, 3 lanes, 1 for each lane. But units here on the north side still holding strong here for both teams. It does look like Dreckard's base is pretty much focusing on defense, while Korn is focusing on offense. Bunch of missile launchers, a couple of PD, trying to take those shields out. Of course, they are Seraphim, so it's gonna take a while to chew through those. Bliss went full read. Oh, come on, what? None of their team has air. Well, I mean, they have some interceptors, but that's really about it. That is something that Team 1 is lacking. They did go T2 air, and they are going T3 as we speak, but of course, at 16 minutes, that is kind of late for T3 air to just start. Usually you have, oh, what is this? We have another T2 factory. So there are some air, factories available to Team 1, but they're not really focusing on, like they said, kill immediately. Stuxneck going like, hey guys, there's a thing over there, you should probably take that out. Yeah, it has finished the T3, so Obley is not as... Wow, man, there's just some insults being thrown in on chat. I mean, Budweiser did make the mistake as pushing his comm forward too far, but it did result on a kill, to be fair, on Stuxneck specifically, so it's kind of hard to say if it was a bad move or not. It was a bad move that he died, of course. I mean, you can go T1 spam, and that could actually do a lot. Oh, well, it worked. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Budweiser just flowing back. Well, he's dead, technically. And there is salt being thrown in chat. So if you're one of those that likes to read the chat while the casts go on, there is an interesting conversation going on. I am highlighting that. Obviously distracted by the chat. You killed 1 ACU and then died. Yeah, yours, technically. But units here from... I was going to say Korn, but Lukmas are pushing forward, distracting Obley's main force. And now units going to come in on the north side and take out infrastructure and PD up here. So trying to do a hit and fade over there. Units here from Raider, T3 bots. They are loyalists, not as strong as the bricks, of course, but they are faster. And they need to be moving, or those missiles are just going to rip them to pieces. Advanced factories are taken out for Team 1. Team 2 trying to reclaim the middle once again. We even have forces from Korn trying to assist that as well. I think it does look like Raider gave Korn this base. I think this was once Dorset. Yeah, this was Dorset's main base. So we're trying to assist Korn on that northern side, just have more eco and units and whatnot to help defend on that northern side. Because this is a large window to just occupy by yourself. So having another player to just have some defenses in place, definitely going to be a benefit here for Raider. We're having another strap bomber here from Raider using the factory built by Stuxneck, and he is going for some infrastructure in the back line. What is he going for? I assume he's going for P-Gens would be the case. Takes out 2 of them. Good kill there. There's only interceptors, but there is a couple T3 anti-airs, and that bomber will go down. Does look like Team 1 has claimed the upper plateau with the death of Dorset. There are a couple of Ilsies just kind of hanging out on that cliffside here. Or just, there is a T2 triad just constantly shooting at it. Some chat I missed the earlier conversation about that, but of course I can't easily rewind the replay. That is not a feature in the FAF browser, though, is that you can rewind or replay while you're watching it instead of restarting it. That would be an awesome feature. Be like, oh, I missed that. Let me just go back and then watch it again. That'd be instead of just reloading the whole thing. That'd be great. I don't know what the logistics of making sort of like a rewind feature, because you can speed up, but you can't, you know, rewind. So that'd be a cool feature. I don't know if that will ever be added, but again, that's my 2 cents. And adding that feature would be very nice for casters specifically, just to kind of like, oh, we missed something, let me rewind, kind of thing. But units here from Melon are just carving a nice sharp cut through Team 2's main line. They've taken out a couple of facilities and a couple of units, and now they're just pushing forward. This is T2, but as we've seen in a lot of casts, T2 units, especially Ilshis, can be very dangerous. We even have some Percivals appearing for Lukmas down here in the south, and he's starting to do another pincer maneuver, another juke, another fade, you know, what is it, another fade and punch, or whatever the term is called. Oh shoot, my brain is like not, I can't think of the word. But we have a Strat Bomber here trying to deal with these units as they approach. There's nothing really on the ground here to defend. We have a P-Gen under threat. We have, of course, that T3 factory. That this is probably the goal of this force, is to take out that T3 factory. But every bomb takes out a couple of units, starting to whittle them down. We also have Titans on approach. Not super effective at taking out Ilshis just because of their rapid fire nature. But we now have a Whaler appearing here, and now this might make a difference. The Whaler does do a lot of damage. It is targeting the anti-air first to ensure that it has nothing firing back at it. But it does look like Raider, you know, this Pigeon will probably most likely go down. But and he might keep the T3 factory. We'll have to check up on that. We, of course, have reinforcing forces coming all the time here for Melon. And that force down to the south here for Luke. Got a little bit of work done, but not a whole lot. And on the north, like, nothing's changed. It does look like Dreckard is making some forward momentum. But now the units have appeared on the nearby ion reactor. They're taking it out. Explosion happens, takes out a bunch of PD. T3 headquarters is under threat. Pigeons are under threat. There's not enough firepower in the air or on the ground to deal with this, and unfortunately this is just going to be a total loss of infrastructure here for Team 2. It is not really looking good for them. The loss of another player, you know, loss of an entire player's base as well. This is a full share game, of course. So, yeah, it's just not looking good. T1 bombers are called in to assist here from Luke, trying to just do something. That, you know, it's still, that Whaler's still alive, still doing its work. I don't know where that T3 bomber went, but going to be using it right now. And now it is taken out. These units will be mopped up eventually, but their mission has been done. Never mind, we killed Air Factory. Happy face, says Luke Bliss. I would assume that somebody on Team 2 would go back up T3. And so far, no, there is one factory built. Overkill them, says Pepe Yao, but it does look like forces from Korn have actually gotten in the main base of Dreckard, and I feel like all of these could have taken out the comm, but they're focusing out infrastructure to ensure that if he were to die, his other teammates get nothing. Good tactical move on that part. That's really hard to do because you want to go for comm kills, but if you take out all the infrastructure, if you kill a comm, it's like it's a no-share game, or a no-share game, because it's a partially share game, you still get infrastructure. Targeting factories as well as going after the mass extractors, not the fabricators. Team 2 was severely leading the mass game, though. So even though Team 1 has, you know, done a huge cut, look at that huge cut all the way across all those dead mexes. Even though they've done that, Team 2 is still holding the mass by, it almost looked like a 2-to-1, but it's about 200, I'd say 300 average. Decent chunk, especially with more and more mass falling to these Titans. Titans getting in the backfield, getting for these mexes as well. So there'll be another 9 mass each, 27 mass a second. Still, that's got to hurt. Melon trying to upgrade to D3 as we speak. Almost loses that one. That would suck to lose that one on an upgrade that you specifically, your commander, is working on. Oh, that one. But we have Raider grouping up some forces down here. He has the T3 factory for assist. A couple of bricks make their appearance here on the southern section of the map, and of course a bunch of loyalists to help assist with this large opening that both teams have access to, at least in terms of how the map generated. It'd be a lot easier to have units that move a lot quicker to ensure that they can cover more ground, because it's really hard to just build a line of fire bases like this. Very easy to manage a lot more units if they're, you know, very fast and mobile. Again, another incursion down here in the south. Percival's shields, anti-air flak, but they're now targeting the comm, and I think they might get him this time. Obley did build the missile launcher on his chassis, probably going for that Billy Nuke, but he does get a rank in vet. The Percivals are not in range to deal with the rest of the incoming forces here from Team 1. There are Percivals and there are Othams, so is it enough? I don't know if they want to go for comm kill straight up or not. It's kind of getting the feeling that they don't want to, but at least taking out the highest rated player may, warrant going for the comm kill, in my opinion. He is a 2200. He leads the ranking by 500, especially with the second highest rated player of Budweiser on his team as well. Granted, the lowest rated players in the game, Pepe Yao, Melon, and Drekken are on the team as well. The two usually when one team has a severely high rated player, usually they win, but not if the player gets killed off before 20 minutes, which we had 3 deaths before 20 minutes. So still on that average of at least one player dying. So that this game did not break the mold for that, but we have a huge group of loyalists pushing forward against a bunch of Ilshis, and these Ilshis will be able to do a lot of damage. Of course, there are lightning tanks, there are sniper bots, there are a lot of forces over here. These loyalists will suffer a lot of casualties, but as you can see, a lot of damage are going on these Ilshis. I think they have EMP weapons, which means they disable units that are attacking them for a little bit, but they are weaker versus the bricks by about 2/3. Actually, they have 2,500 hit points versus the 7,500 that bricks have. But these Ilshis just have so much fire rate on those chassis. It just doesn't really work out very much for those loyalists, and that push will amount in a failure straight up. No, they took out a Mechs, but that's about it. Not really worth the mass they lost. Experimental was built. It is a Colossus, not a Fat Boy. So he got the Aeon Tech from Dorset and goes, ooh, I'll build a Colossus. That'll be fun. That is what the UEF lack is, a very good, like hard-hitting, like assault, not assault bot, but, yeah, well, I guess, yeah, experimental assault bot. You have the Chicken, you have the Colossus, and you have the Monkey Lord, and you have the Fat Boy. The Fat Boy is like the outlier of the group, so using the Aeon Tech to his advantage builds what he lacks, which is the best experimental assault bot, T4 assault bot in the game. There's no scouting is very bad. Game losing bad. Yeah, see, Stuxnet's making the point to his allies that you have to constantly get intelligence, even if it's every minute or every even 2 minutes or so. You have to get a constant flow of it to know what the enemy is doing. Because now this position is becoming even harder for Team 2 to take out. There's even a Ravager in the mix as well, so just sending out a couple of units at a time isn't really going to be worth it. Not too many sniper bots. I don't know what that's about. He's building T3 units in terms of sniper bots, but not the Othams. It's kind of a mistake. You need those Otham siege tanks for the tankiness. The Harbingers are pushing forward. They are able to shoot at range against these Harbingers. I guess there are a couple Othams in there, but not enough. You should probably increase the amount of Othams that you have available to you. Harbingers will engage. Of course, the Ilshis just rapid fire nonsense. Deal a lot of damage. The Harbingers are focusing the Othams from Dreckard. These Harbingers will be taken out, unfortunately, but the floodgates have opened on the northern side of the map with the assistance of that Colossus. And now the blue wave is incoming here for Team 1. It is pushing the front line. Bots are being sucked up by the suction hands of the Colossus. In the middle, things have kind of died down. There's a little bit of pushback between the players, but not really a whole lot going on. Unfortunately, I don't really see any T3 intel installations. I see a couple. Oh, there's one in the back for Obley, but I don't see anything for Team 2. No. Well, there's a T2. It's going to T3 as we speak, so it's not out of the question for them. But you got to have that Omni. It's just something you always got to have. Even if you lose it, you have to pull it back a little bit. It is worth having all the time. I love the fact that the Otham or whatever unit it's holding could still shoot at nearby units. I always find that very entertaining. It's like, I know I'll die, but I'll use my last energy that I have to shoot at this other guy before I die. Kind of a last FU to the giant colossus that's being held by. Like, you may crush me, but I will try to kill one of your friends. Chicken says, Luke, yep, that chicken is pushing that southern side, but we'll go back to the colossus because this is a lot more threatening to the main base of Team 1. Team 1 losing Mechs as we speak, and of course, as we know, Team 2 is still leading that eco game. It is a 3-2 advantage. That is starting to be not really great for Team 1. They are losing by almost 100,000 mass total recruits, so not really going well for them. The Colossus just takes out that chicken that was being built. Man, this has got to hurt. It's going for probably the P-gens, what it looks like. One of the weaknesses for Seraphim shielding. If you lose your P-gens, can't produce the energy, the shields can't stay online. So the tankiness of the shield doesn't really do anything anymore. But assisting Perseus are trying to deal with this T1, T2, T3 force here. The Colossus just stomping forward, taking everything out that it wants to. Now it targets the P-gen. Okay, I was wondering what it was doing. Sits in the volatile range. Not really the best idea. We'll take out the T3 factory here from Melon. That is a good grab here. Target the T3 land factory as well. We'll probably take out the rest of these units and then turn around and deal with that. So, Team 1's Melon player is pretty much going to be kicked out of the game for now. His comm has retreated back to these Tri-Mechs up here to the north. The Colossus is still online, and these factories are producing units as we speak. But it's just the noose is slowly being tied around the neck of Melon here. Down here in the south, we have that chicken has made it to the main base here for Luke. And Luke not looking good. That chicken still has a lot of hit points. It's going after the T3 land headquarters for him. So as one player gains ground in the north, one player loses ground in the south. That usually is what happens. Push GCs here, says Dorset. I'll go check that out really quickly. Yeah, push it to southward. I don't think it's going to work out. I see a chicken down there. Apologies for the jump cut. Not the jump cut, the jump over there, but you need to kill them too. You need like 40 snipers to kite experimental. But we have the options going, no options. We have a bunch of PD going down, trying to do the best they can against this chicken. Bunch of engineers building T1 and T2, trying to get a nice spread. More experimentals are built, but all of that goes up in smoke with that slow firing cannon from the chicken bot. Colossus has now completely wiped out that base for Melon. It's not really looking good for him. Go over here, take out these, and then head north. Deal with two comms, actually. There's two comms in the north, but one of the comms, Drecker, does have a transport just in case. Another Colossus makes its way on the western side, but it's just standing there taking the punishment. Not really the best idea there. But maybe Team 2 will just leave Melon there and just kind of not give those mechs over to any of his teammates. Taxi up resources and all that, or tie up resources, not taxi up, tie up resources and all of that. ASFs for Team 1's player of Obley are just exerting their air dominance nearby. The chicken was taken out by the monkey, but the monkey does fall, so it's a trade. It's not a great trade, but it's a trade. So there is an experimental here on the southern side for now, but I wouldn't be surprised to see either of these players build one here soon. Still, the Colossus is still being shot at by a bunch of Team 1 bombers and a chicken, but the chicken's now 2v1, and it's going to die. Yeah, don't walk towards the chicken. Probably not the best idea there. There you go. They can go around it. Percy's going to walk straight for it and die. Not a good move there. A couple of these Volthers trying to take out some Percys, doing some damage, which is better than none. But again, no AA. I guess there's AA now, but there's no AA currently, and the Percys are suffering for it. Are those Percys just sitting out of range? They are just sitting out of range. Look at that. That is hilarious. They're like, no, we're not going to move till it's done. Another chicken will appear on this base here for, well, this Pepe Yao was walked up north. Oh, the Colossus is walking away, but it will fall eventually, and the second Colossus will appear. Going to turn back around. All focus has been given to that primary Colossus to the west. The other Colossus could have been dealing damage all the time. But I think both of these will fall, giving a nice mass dump here for Oldley to work with. But does lose 3 of his T3 mass extractors. The other one will go down fairly quickly, sub 1,000 hit points, and falls to that death by 1,000 cuts. We are 33 minutes in. No other players have died. Wouldn't be surprised to see some T4 nonsense, whether that be artillery or a YOLO or something. I mean, there's 4 Seraphim players. One of them's got to be thinking about it. Well, I guess 3 now since Budweiser died. But somebody's got to be thinking about how to end the game now. It's 33 minutes in. That's got to be on your mind at this point. Some players may think that's a little early, but it's never too early to think about how to win the game, especially when you're sitting at a decent amount of mass ahead of your opponent. Obviously, you won't know that. I know that. And everyone else watching knows that because we have full vision on everything. But you got to be thinking, how much mass am I producing? 600. Okay, that's a lot. Should I go for experimental or artillery at this point? I mean, possibly. Is he even spending all of it? No, he's not. Well, he is mostly, but does have a huge amount of mass in the bar, though, to just spend. Stuxnik saying that Oldley will win the game with that reclaim. Well, how much reclaim is here? I mean, almost 30,000. It's not, game-ending mass. It's enough to make a chicken. That's really about it, though. But 3 more Colossi are on this northwestern side. They're not pushing the main base up Dreckard, though. That's kind of weird. These AA units, these Cougars, need to push in and help assist those Colossi. I don't know why they're not. I don't like seeing AA units not being really used that well. Of course, the Percys are still being shot at by these Volthus. Oh, that's so disheartening to watch. Of course, some of you may be keen on my inflections talking with UEF. That is my main faction. I love the faction. I love a lot of their units. But so when I see players like me, like, oh, they're just Percys being persecuted right now, it's just hard to watch. But we have more Harbingers here from Khorne, taking out some Percys that got in behind the main force to the south for Raider. And that's just the benefit of having another player covering the middles. Oh, this happened. I can help with this for a second. But now the AA is covering the Colossi. And now there's even a 4th one on its way. So Khorne just pumping them out. He's actually going for a Duke as we speak. Has built an SMD. Has already made a missile for that. Would like to see some shielding. I think he has some power problems. Yep, going to get another PGen to help assist with that. Yep, his power's freaking out. Probably that one will help if his other teammates have some overflow power. Yep, they do. So it just looks like if he builds that one, he'll be fine. Melon says E. Everyone said to everyone, he says E. Just everyone give me energy. Everyone. Chicken says stuck next. Well, there are 3 on this southern side. But there are 3 Colossi and a 4th one in tow, so they're going to meet here in the western middle. 4 chickens. There's not 3 chickens, there's 4 chickens. Where's the 4th one? I only see 3. Am I blind? Oh, there's... Okay, well, that one's not next to the other ones. And they're going to actually retreat in the face of those Colossi. Colossi will retreat. Just pull to the eastern side. But these units here from Oldley have taken out production facilities for Raider and are not pushing forward, but are just holding position for now, denying more mass extractors for Team 2. And Team 2 is losing the southern side. Oldley making a huge effort down here in the south, just trying to cut off any more attacking avenues here for Team 2. You know what? Any experimentals down here? There's a nuke launcher, though, and it was just finished a couple seconds ago. Or maybe a minute or 2 ago, but Raider going for the nuke play. Is he going to follow the example of Spectre Slave in that last video of just spamming out 10 of them? I think is the number that he got. It was at least 8 or 9 before the game ended, but there was a lot of nukes. Again, units not shielded by AA. Going to be just free damage on all these Harbingers. Even though T1 don't do a lot of damage over time, you give 1 damage units 1,000 seconds, that's 1,000 points of damage. Times that by 100 units, that's 100,000 damage. That kills a lot. So definitely got to cover your units. But the chickens have engaged the Colossi. They've killed 1. The second chicken will fall here shortly. The Ion Storm goes after the Colossus because it has a hard-on for Colossi. The 3rd chicken, which was heavily damaged, will now be taken out, and this Colossus will definitely go down considering it's near 3 ion storms. It's going to just accept its fate. It's trying to maneuver around. Will it make it? Probably not. The ion storm is missing. Oh, it's going to hit lots of hit points. It doesn't make it out. So, and this 4 chicken will be able to pinpoint that Colossus and take it out eventually. Down here in the south, still burning attacks here now from Obley onto that main base here from Luke. Luke not really feeling great here. He does have a Fat Boy. This will help push back the front line, but is it enough? I don't really think so. Obley has built another experimental. I don't see it. Oh, it's another chicken. So there are 1, 2 Colossi remaining here. Actually, 3 remaining on that northern side with 2 chickens in command for Team 1. Things going down here for the chicken. I don't know who for, but Bomb AA while close says Budweiser. Don't know. Oh, I see. Just throw bombers at it. But the Duke has now been finished, and it's targeting... I don't know. What is it targeting? What is he targeting? Yeah, I was going to say, go for the main base, please. Don't go for the... Oh, the air grid is actually designed, interestingly. It's done at an angle, so it doesn't explode, doesn't cascade explosions. I do like that style, just ensuring that a lot of the air grid stays online. It doesn't produce as fast, of course, but it does survive bombardment attacks from artillery. So, and everything has an advantage and a disadvantage, and it's just you just gotta mitigate your losses. But Duke lands in the middle of these 2 factories and 2 power gens. The shield goes down. Will it cause a cascade explosion? Let's see. Well, that one lands, takes out this large section. The T3 naval headquarters goes down. No more ASF for Obley unless he has a backup one somewhere, which I don't think he does. Nope. That's just land down there. The Colossi have engaged once again. 1 chicken was killed off. 1 Colossi just was taken out. But this chicken will fall once again. A bunch of mass on this western side. What are we looking at here? 120,000 on screen currently. A huge chunk of mass for our players to scoop up. But Team 1 bombers coming ahead. Try to do what they can. There is AA nearby, but it's not a lot. And there are, of course, a couple of Autumns here for Drecker just to be annoying. Does look like there was an attack here from Obley. Obley trying to go after the comm of Raider. Raider currently under shield coverage. There are still Percys coming after that comm. I think they might be going after the nuke silo as well. But there's PD being spammed up as we speak. And, of course, bombers raining in all the time. They are trying to target that nuke. Oh, they might get it, actually. Oh, they get it. Oh, that's gotta suck. That nuke was almost a GG, says Bliss. I don't think it's GG's just yet. Just because Team 2 has lost their nuke does not mean... I heard it. Where is it? I heard it. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Oh, an Awasha has been completed for Melon. Melon is back in this game, building an experimental bomber. And, not really looking good, but if it just loses to this ASF group, it's not going to look good. Doesn't get a good engage, unfortunately, and the ASFs are behind it, so lots of damage is going down on those hit points for that bomber. Almost half of its hit points are already gone. It does have some onboard AA, and that Awasha gets immediately defeated. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Gets 1, maybe 2 bombs off, and that is it. Both of these are called in to take out the Colossus. 1 falls. The second one is still online. Go after the T3 factory. That'd be a good idea. Or even go after the P-Gen, something to make it go boom. It's going after the P-Gen here. Takes it out. It will fall shortly, but it will do a lot of damage in its wake. So while Team 2 loses a huge advantage here with the nuke, Team 1, they do also gain a decent amount of damage on Team 1's main base. Man, I keep flipping their names. It's kind of annoying. Large section of the air grid has been taken out, so Obley is just down to whatever ASF he has remaining, which is none. Nope. Has none of them. So Team 2 has air supremacy just by the fact that Team 1 has nothing. And there's only a handful of Raider. How many are there exactly? 26. Wow, he has air supremacy with 26. That is not a lot. Not a lot of ASF, especially at 42 minutes. But there's a group of bombers here that are just going to rain fire from the heavens. taking out some Harbingers, but there is a lot of AA nearby and ASF to help assist. So these Harbingers will stay alive for now. Artie on this. Artie says, Bliss, well, yeah, it's been firing at you for a while. The second one has been completed. Brascom's being called in from the ether or wherever they teleport from. I'm assuming it's just from the ether, but who knows. The comm of Pepe Yao is the one being targeted. At least that's just a byproduct of them going after the P-Gens. Factory goes down. Shields are going down constantly. They're actually building their own Hovatham, their own T3 Artie. But it might be a little too late. Shields go down around those P-Gens. Obley is walking towards them. Not a great look there. P-Gen goes down again. Could they get a 2-for-1? Artie's still missing their main target. Do they even know that they're there? They don't. But Obley will take a hit from that volatile explosion and go, I gotta move. I gotta move. They are building shield coverage as we speak, and they're getting that Hovatham quickly up, to be fair. Man, their shield, it's just, I don't know. It's just 2 versus 1. The Seraphim shields are strong. If there's one more Artie for Team 2, they could probably crack those shields, at least how many are currently online. They are taking out some build power and P-Gens and some shields that have been taken down. At least they've lost their charge for now. Trying to build more and more as we speak, though. If they can get if they can get a P-Gen, that would get it, and they did. They got one, got the other one. They noticed that Obley is there. The Hovatham threat is gone. Pepe Yao says GG. Will he control K? Draw, says Melon. No, I don't go for draws. I'd rather die. Yeah, no, says Luke. And forces here from the north here, from Drecker. They're trying to just take out some E-storage, which, at this stage of the game isn't really that important. But does diminish overcharge, so that's something. Nuke, Obley base, maybe. Now they're already killed. Well, he lost his nuke, so no, you can't do that. Unless somebody else built the nuke that I don't know about. No, does not look like. There's only one SMD, surprisingly, on the map, and it's actually from Korn, who doesn't even have a nuke launcher. It was Raiders. There is one right here, which is very far forward, I would say. Korn used to be higher rated. I forgot he did. So they're talking about how, you can lose your rating over time. Something you got to be aware of. Either you take a lot of losses or you just don't play for a long time. But this Solitary Titan is trying to do some work, comes against a brick and goes, nope, bit off more than I can chew, and will perish for it. Why didn't I want to put him? Don't know what that's about. But yeah, it does look like the artillery is going after the comm now. It's kind of hard to target a moving object with Artie, especially that far away. It can be done, but it is very difficult. Factory's going down. Another bomber is en route. It's going to go after the AA. Takes out all of the AA. But, of course, the main base here was building AA all the time. And it's going to land just shy. Of course, the crash damage wouldn't have been enough to take out anything. It pretty much just drops mass on the doorstep of Korn's base. Probably not the best. I didn't think it could get worse. Yeah, it did not really go well for them. At least that bomber. But we have a Maver under construction here for Team 1 from Obley. But will it be enough? Is this the straw that breaks the camel back? Who knows? I don't know if I want to. Let's see. That's a nice shot of the Maver. Is it enough? That might be the text in the video in the thumbnail. Is this enough? And it might be. We'll have to see. I mean, we still got a decent amount of time left in the video. Who knows? That could come online and wipe out Team 2, or Teams 2 maybe could come online and wipe out Team 1. Who knows? You'll just have to keep watching to find out. Or you could do the cheaty way of just like scanning the fast forwarding the video to the point where you're like, oh, there it is. That's when I know they won, kind of thing. But a T3 air headquarters on the front line, not really the best choice. I mean, I know you probably wanted to get T3 air there, Obley, but that's not a good choice to put it. It will be protected, though, so that's something, but it's still not a good choice. A couple strap bombers come in, take that out. There goes your air once again. He does have but he does have a backup, so that I will give him credit. He does have a backup, so he'll still have T3 air, so not a huge loss there. Don't know if it was worth it, but who knows. The T3 Arty has now been relocated to the Maver construction for Team 1. Of course, Team 2's Arties... let me go back in. Sorry for the back and forth. It's a little over a third. Melon was kind of goated this game. Melon did do a good job. He has a couple of experimental moments and whatnot, but only has one engineering building here. Obley has some shield, but is losing it over time. We even have a Novax here from Luke. Though the UEF are making a strong play here in this game, considering there were 4 Seraphim on Team 1. You know, 2 players here doing massive things here. We have 2 Arty and a third one on the way for Corrin, and some Novaxes here for Luke. Trying to get back in this game offensively. He's kind of just been regulated to the corner. You know, Obley has done a lot. Target Obley, ACU with Arty. I mean, that's what's been going on. The Pigeons should be the main concern, or taking out the shield infrastructure, one of the emitters, one of the two. We have Whalers on approach. There's a lot of ASF, though. They're not going to get a lot of work done, unfortunately. But the Novax, if it target the shields, and that will delay the shields coming back online. You have to micromanage them more, and it's just eventually you just overwhelm the enemy. That's pretty much what you have to do with shields. Just you either overwhelm them to the point where they can't keep them online, or you take all the generators out and then they can't even have any to begin with. But we do have the play of Dreckard getting this corner side of the plateau and actually starting to use the Arty to his advantage. Try to pummel nearby infrastructure. You can see the range on these fairly quickly. It's the... Well, you can see the... Oh, no, okay, I was like, that's the wrong thing. There we go. You see the range can do a lot, actually. Can actually almost target those SAM sites here, which would be a huge advantage here. But can't target them. Maybe if they built like one there, maybe. But I don't even know if that's enough. How's the shield situation going down here? Well, Obley still has it somewhat under control. Loses some here and there, but isn't losing them all the time, though. Trying to replenish what he has constantly. Isn't prioritizing the Maver probably like he should. The Maver now has crossed the 50% for Team 2. So Corrin still has the advantage in that. Pretty much Team 1's... Oh, it's like to see. I keep doing it again. Team 1's hope is to take out Corrin and his base. If Team 2 loses Corrin, it might be game. So the linchpin here for Team 2 is Corrin. He has the Arty. He has the plan. He has everything going for him for now. You know, his opponent here on the north isn't really pushing as much as he probably should. We have counter artillery being built up here as well. So it's just a base wars continuing on from 30 minutes ago. The middle still being fought over. Team 1 gaining ground, then Team 2 gains ground, then Team 1 gains down. So not really a whole lot of one team holds the ground for a particular amount of time, or most of the game. Spamming out Lobos is the game here for Luke, trying to just distract his opponent long enough. There is a Megalith on approach, though, and there is nothing to defend against. Then Melon Control K saying, I am out of here. I've done enough. And can't really do a whole lot. Of course, there were a couple of bricks getting into the back line. He was building a YOLO and just goes, nah, it's not really worth it. And call it here. So that is a exit for Team 1, dropping this game to a 3v3 at the 51 almost minute mark. But yeah, it's pretty much the main action going down is the Arty here between Team 1 and Team 2. And Team 1 has no Arty, isn't prioritizing it as we speak. And is just biding time, but all that gives is Team 2 time to finish the Maver. And if the Maver finishes, I don't care how much shields you have. Unless you have 1,000 shields, that Maver is going to penetrate it and just annihilate whatever's underneath it. So this is the most weird game of FAF. It's not that weird. I've experienced a long time. Today, yes, I think Stucknix has an argument where he's played for poisoning my mind. I truly lost brain cells just being here. Yeah, they do have subcom brain. It is 51 minutes. You know, even veterans are just like, it's a lot to take in, to think about. And it's just, you can see the shields come online, then come offline, they come back online. There are now 2 satellites here. And Obley just not really focusing on building that Maver, just sitting there. But he's lost a lot of shields. Get some of those back online. He's mixing in T2 and T3, ensuring that he gets kind of an overlapping coverage. You need even more satellites. And Luke says, I know. I would definitely agree with that. He needs at least 2 more. With the only, if there was 3 already, 2 would be fine. But we see that the Maver is almost done. I think this will be the first time in a while on the channel we've seen a Maver actually completed and used. I think of one game it fired. I think it didn't even fire 1 shot. It extended its barrel and then it died. But is there another? No, that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. That was like 10, 15 casts ago. So I'm rushed in there for a second. There are some, of course, salt going on. Is this enough salt? That might be the title in the thumbnail would be, is this enough salt? And I don't know. Still trying to come up with a name for the thumbnail. I usually come up with it what happens during the game, but sometimes, you know, I come up with it during the game. Sometimes I come up with it just based on like the little the replay that I just kind of scan through to make sure there's no DCs or anything. But yeah, but I think is this enough salt will be the text in the thumbnail. To be fair, Obley has to have a lot more shield coverage now, so I think those satellites have actually left. They're like, nah, we're gonna move somewhere else. There's a Monkey Lord in the middle being shot at by some Ravager fire. An engineer running out on his own. The satellites are actually moving. Where are they moving? They're moving. Well, they won't be moving to this. It's not really worth it. The arty here from Korn is actually dealing with this firebase here from Extractor, and a huge wave of Team 1 bombers are on approach, probably before that monkey. I mean, yeah, they'll kill the monkey, but that's about it. Move sats back to Obley base. Nah. Cyberbully Obley. There's just so much salt. Obley's just being punished. The chicken does get pretty close by. Will this be the straw that breaks the camel's back? Will Korn fall? There's a lot of tele defense. There's 2 satellites on approach. It's gonna be close. Well, we're gonna go into the icons. But the chicken stops moving. That's definitely a fatal flaw. You can see the Maver shoots its first round and see that it falls fairly quickly. It should have kept going. Missiles are launched. Only none of them impact the shield, and if they do, they don't even take it out. Ooh, and more being built up all the time. Nope, the shield is still holding strong. More missiles are inbound. What's going down here? How's the shield? Well, the shields are online for now. Are they even building? No, it's not even building the Maver anymore. Wow, it just doesn't even. Nope, doesn't even finish it. There's a nuke launcher built here for Korn as well. Korn is, of course, the man with the plan. Maver is getting his 4th P-Gen, so he'll be able to rapid fire that thing and be very effective. You know, more missiles landing, but there's just so many buzz kills, it doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. How the shield's holding up. Are the shells even landing against that base? No. Wait, where are they going? Well, don't tell me you're going after the front line. That is not where you should be targeting with those. Artie, what do you... Oh, you're being mean. Oh, that's what they meant by cyberbully. Just like destroy everything else and then destroy Obley. So that Maver is... Well, maybe they have a new target. Okay, I think... I don't know. Will they drop short is the question. Go after this base here for Pepiao. No... They are very wide. This must be the Maver shot since it's, not crazy off to one side or the other. It impacts the shields, takes out nothing. And the Maver is being built once again. I think, oh, you can see the Maver shot takes out all of that shield coverage. Just everything gets taken out. Ooh, this isn't going to go well. Oh, shells impacting all the time. Takes out a couple of shield emitters to the north. More shells are impacting all the time. And no shield coverage around Obley, getting shields back online as fast as he can. One falls. They're just flickering on and off. More of them fall. Obley's like, okay, I gotta move. I gotta move. The Maver's still being built. Should have tried to keep its original position, but that was me. That was probably the Maver shot. Man, you can see when that Maver shot lands, it takes out a whole bunch of shields. Almost all the shields are taken out. Another couple of emitters fall. To be fair, Luke is doing a decent amount with just Lobos, so you know he is being effective with those. You know, T1 spam is a big thing. Takes out another emitter. Explosions happening. What's going on? Oh, okay, those are just Rascoms. Okay, but two more chickens are, you know, about to pierce the front line of Corn's base. But a large Ravager battery built up to deny that exact thing. Those might get some of the shields, but not a whole lot. The shield coverage does go off. There was a Colossus in tow as well. Counter artillery now for Team 1, but Dreckard is killed off by Luke by a couple of satellites. Now this drops to a 3v2 in Team 2's favor for once. Team 1 was winning the calm alive stat for the entire game pretty much, except when it was a tie. But whenever it dropped, it was always in Team 1's favor. Now it's in Team 2's favor. And that Maver was completely destroyed. That was, you know, once you have a Maver online, unless you have very good shield micro, it pretty much won't matter. There's the Hovatham. It is now the prime target of Team 2's already. I'm just waiting for that thing to collapse. Bunch of engineers get taken out. Pigeon, one more Pigeon goes down. That's it. That's the end of that Hovatham. Shields are taken out. There it goes. Yep. There's the volatility of the shields. It is a double-edged sword. The Pigeons allow you to recharge the shot faster. Now we have an Washer on approach. Will it do enough? I don't think so. There's a lot of AA mixed in there, so maybe he'll, you know, impact the shields. But the bomber lands. Will it do a lot? Takes out nothing. The crash damage was reduced significantly to prevent that sort of thing. And a nuke will launch from that silo. Where is it going? Well, it's going for the air grid here for Obley. Man, they are just pummeling Obley. They might just force him to leave at this rate. It's pretty much been in Team 2's favor for a decent while now. And especially with the construction of the Maver. Obley is still fighting, starting to build another Maver. Started to build a nuke because that's probably not a good idea. Doesn't have any SMD coverage, so one nuke would finish him off, but does look like they're just taking out everything pretty much. There's even Artie just like gonna target where the nuke lands. That's just salty. Is there enough salt? Just, man, that's gotta hurt. We have a couple of satellites targeting the comm of Pepe Yao. He's surrounding himself with some shields. Not going to last very long. There is an SMD. I just missed it. It was next to the Maver. The Maver gets taken out. The SMD is still alive, surprisingly. Oh, no, never mind. There it's gone. I just got to say something. In a couple seconds, it'll either get destroyed or come online or something will happen. So all those little yellow dots just stringing along the map. Obley actually leaving, going for this southern facility with a couple of shields and one Pigeon, but not really going well here for Team 1. There's even a couple of just there's a couple air scouts just on the edge, just hanging out. There's hardly any AA defense now. Man, do they even know where that comm is? Oh, okay, now they're just targeting Obley's front line again. Just, man, that crab was taken out, so. Oh, that's why, because a bunch of clean cameras were built. So, you know, that's the thing. These games are why you retired, huh? Obley being like, I guess Obley stopped playing for a while, came back. This is why I never want to be 2K. Yeah, yes, Obley saying yes. This is exactly why. Just games like this where you're just being pummeled. But there's a chicken on approach. A couple of Corsairs are on, you know, on their way to start dealing with this, but the chicken has been found out. The Colossus moves in to intercept. There was a fight earlier between, I guess, a chicken and a Colossus and a Monkey Lord, and didn't really go the well of either of those experimentals. Now they're going after the combo Pepe. Yeah, they're literally going to leave Obley the last man standing for Team 1. Shield coverage goes down. Artillery landing all around. Shield emplacements go down. And gets hit by an artillery shell and gets destroyed by Korn. He gets the credit for that kill. Probably actually was a Maver shot, what it looks like, just by the explosion. And now it is a 3v1. And the game has been over. Yeah, the game has been over for probably about 10 minutes. Obi is just dragging it out. Yeah, I mean, well, you might as well, right? Now the target for the artillery, we know. Sorry, Obley, I did my best. Yeah, you got to just feel for the guy sometimes. He's building a Maver outside of shield coverage and goes, no. Satellite goes, no, stop building that. Stop it. No. May have found the comm. Another satellite has been built here for Luke. He does have the bubble shield for the UEF. Usually you can either get the personal one or the bubble. Depends on what you're doing. If you're shielding experimentals, probably the bubble would be better. He has bubble shield. Yeah, I mean, it is decently... It's 9,000 hit points. Not super strong. But they're taking out all of the generators, taking out all the P-gens. They're going to deny Obley of any safety. And then I love Novax's. Yeah, that's another reason I like UEF. I hate it, says Luke. It's like, you are UEF, so why are you using them? Just kill me, says Obley. You listen to the voices, you let the demons win. Obley's going to actually, I think, walk out into the open now. I'm begging, please kill me. Oh, man, this is just... It's painful, pretty much, to watch this. The Corsairs come in. Don't really do a whole lot because a lot of them impact the shields. We didn't deserve that. Sorry for both of us, only we didn't deserve that. Let Sats kill, please. For meme. It's always funny being killed by satellites. And Corsairs come in. They don't finish off the con. Oh, they might have. Let's see. Who get it? Who got it? Who got credit for it? I don't know. It doesn't tell me. I'm assuming it was the satellites just to make it send this to Guile. Yeah, this definitely was a very good game. A little bit over an hour, so Guile would call it an epic. But thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Please like and comment down below what your favorite moment was. Let me know how you feel about this game. I always like to read the comments and see everybody's opinion on, well, this player did this, or this player should have done this, or all of that. Like stuff I missed too as well. Let me know down in the comments what you guys liked so much about this game. And of course, if you haven't hit that red button below the video, a little bit below it, you can see it. Has a word in it called subscribe. If it's not red, thank you. But if it is red, please hit that button. I greatly appreciate it. Again, every person that subs is another person that has confidence in me that I can continue producing content like this, and I can make it even better. And so the more people that subscribe, the more motivation I get to make better content. And it's kind of like the more people subscribe. So it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Says the more I get better. The more people subscribe, the more motivation I get to get better, and then just keep, snowballing effect. So again, thank you so much for watching. Again, thank you so much. Have a great weekend, everybody. You're watching this on Saturday, so hopefully you're enjoying your Saturday, and I will see, at least when this video came out, and I will see all of you wonderful people, and including you, in the next one.